Welcome back to a Very Melbourne podcast. Hello, Davo.
Hello, how are you?
You may notice, looking at us, we're wearing hats. And on
Or if
this,
you're listening to it on audio, you
We're-
won't notice that we're
Yeah.
wearing hats.
but rest assured we are.
We're wearing hats and clothes, but hats.
You're a Boston fan, always have been.
Yes.
You love your Boston Celtics, and
Yes.
I'm a Dallas Maverick,
Then there were
Freak.
two.
and it's you and me, buddy.
Then there were two. You were going down like a lead balloon, my friend.
Oh, well,
You're going down like the demons.
I think you're. Oh, you did
but
not.
maybe rebound faster than the Eagles.
You did not say that, yeah. Oh, mate, it's been a big week in Demon Land. And we need to talk about it because everybody is.
Yeah, it's. How was the Northern Territory? Cheers first. Thanks to None
Cheers.
Such.
Thank you.
Nice
Thanks
for us to get a whiskey on.
Thanks to None Such Very Melbourne podcast.
We're going to need it tonight.
Whew. Mm. Oh, that's a good drop.
How was the Northern Territory?
Alice Springs is wonderful. And if you've not been there before, I recommend it. You've got to go. It is so good.
Skip to the chase.
You just want me to get to the game of footy.
Get to the game. Everyone wants to know
No.
about, well, yeah, it's a great airport and all that. It's good by the shops and, they got a pub and, I'm sure. And the air is nice and it didn't look that warm. It looked 20 or whatever, but whatever. And they had a road train at one end, blah, 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 blah. Melbourne versus Fremantle, let's talk.
Don't bring me down to your West Coast level, Davo.
Everyone wants to talk about it.
Yeah, okay. Well, we will. And we should because it was
What are we
brilliant.
waiting for?
All right, it was bad. It was bad.
Did you have any suspicion?
No. I don't. Well, this is the I think this is why people are so shocked and talking about
Yeah.
it so much is that we did not see that coming. Maybe not that. Yeah, there's question marks. And I think there's question marks over 95% of the league. If I'm being honest, there's one team that's really flying.
Hawthorn.
Sydney. No, Hawthorn have been up and down. Hawthorn have been up and
Hawthorn are
down.
playing really well and they're beating everyone. They're
Well,
an informed team.
Now, but they started off the season and we're thinking, oh, geez, they're going to rival North Melbourne and West Coast for the wooden spoon.
Yeah, okay.
And they've had their up and downs.
Yeah, but
Now they're up.
Sydney.
Wait a
don't you
week. Wait a week. Wait 2 weeks.
Just get
Brit-
bored of Sydney flying through and
Yeah.
like no problems. But they bottomed out a tiny bit towards the end of
They
one
did.
of the years.
A couple of years down, and didn't they get spanked in a grand final?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, everyone has their moments. And
And you can't say they weren't trying in a grand final. It's
no,
just sometimes
it just
doesn't work.
It doesn't work. And on the big stage too for them, they got absolutely pulverised. But they're looking good right now. And good, good on John Longmire.
You keep avoiding the obvious.
Well, what do you want me to say, Dave?
When you went to the game, did you have any suspicion going in? Was their body language? Were their players looking tired? Did it feel off? Did it just have a sense? Sometimes you can go to a game and I used to be able to watch a team run on and I would go, uh-oh. And I was like, is there any inkling that it was like this wasn't going to be the day?
It's a fair point you make, but I didn't notice it because I was busy doing my work. And my work is largely around the supporters and making sure that they're getting some connection to what's happening on the field and using the sponsors as that connection. And I love that job because I've always been even when I was playing, a show pony. Thank you.
I think that was what you were looking for.
Well, yes, that and also one for the crowd. I enjoy
Fair enough.
interaction with the crowd. It wasn't always well received with other players or coaches, but
You're good at it.
you can't change what a leopard can't change its spot. So, and we'll get to the people in the chat room in a second. I didn't notice it. I noticed that it was a good vibe. I felt like it was. Look, we've been a long time in the NT now. We've done it for a while.
Yeah.
The question now is, will it continue?
Oh, we said, didn't we do a yeah, nah? And it was 3 or 4 weeks ago, and we said no more knee-jerk reactions. So to lose one game and go, that's it, we're never going in Northern Territory again.
But we lost last year by a kick, remember, against GWS at the end of the game where we switched off, where we were playing really well and then we switched off at half time.
Yeah.
It's
Okay, fair enough, yeah.
it's playing Fremantle or GWS. Here's the argument, and I'm with whatever.
I'll take North Melbourne there, and you'll get over your bogey.
Right, but this is the thing. It's $1 million goes into the coffers, and I understand that.
Where does the money come from? Because it's not
From Tourism NT.
okay.
It's a sponsorship, effectively. And it's
Is that why
wonderful
you
to bring.
Started talking about how good it is in the Northern Territory.
Yeah.
I hope I haven't questioned that $1 million now. I really apologise on behalf of Melbourne Football
I've
Club.
always got my marketing hat on, Davo.
Well, you got a Dallas one. That's a bit disappointing.
We're going to win. I don't think we're an unknown quantity.
Yep.
And
There's that.
and we're going to come down
Kyrie's
on
a
you.
choker, mate. Anyway,
Listen, spoken like a
They
true
don't care
Boston
about the
Celtic.
NBA.
Oh, he's not playing for us anymore. And we'll applaud Porzingis when he plays in Dallas. We'll be like, good on you, mate. Go for your better opportunities. That's fine. Whereas you Boston. Anyway, I digress.
we're a bit like Collingwood, aren't we?
Yeah.
Boston. Now I think about it.
No, I think that the deal is great. You get $1 million, and it's helped us as a club, and really bringing football to the NT is a great thing because they love football there.
Yeah.
And I know you want to go too and check it out. It's so
yeah,
good.
but the flight prices every time. I don't know how the supporters feel,
God.
but every time I go to book a flight, I go, what is it? 3 hours?
It's cheaper to go to New York.
Yeah, it is.
Why? Why is that? Why do they hike prices like that here? Do they do it in the rest of the world? You travel all over.
No, because there's so many flights everywhere. It's only in Australia do you get a duopoly, and they basically then just squeeze you because they know something's going on. Like Taylor Swift's playing this weekend. All right, let's just jack the prices up. How else are they going to get there? Oh, the grand final's on. Jack the prices up.
Surely there's
it's
a
not
watchdog.
necessarily the demand. Well, there is, but it's like I don't
know enough about it.
I don't know. I don't know enough about it either. But I just don't find. Well, I'm glad I didn't fork out the money to go see that game.
Look,
I'm not a massive fan of Fremantle. I'm not sure if you know.
Ryan says, most of the Indigenous people support the red sash, and fair enough too, because Essendon's been such a great club for the Indigenous. Kevin Sheedy was fantastic, although he's going through some troubled times with all of that at the moment. I don't know enough about that to make any comments, but I do feel that there isn't enough support in the NT for the Demons. When we play, say, Adelaide Crows, obviously that close proximity of the NT to Adelaide means there's going to be a lot more Crows and Port Adelaide supporters. And by that same token, West Australia's right next door as well. So
Yeah.
Fremantle had a lot of supporters there and probably outnumbered us.
Wow.
And so this is my point. It served Fremantle. Let's look at this in a pure football sense. It served Fremantle to be there, not us. Because we play at the MCG and Fremantle how often do they play at the MCG? And how well do they play at the MCG? Probably pretty good right now.
Yeah.
But they traditionally, and they got us a couple of years ago, didn't they? Was it last year? They beat us there.
You at the MCG.
And they're a good team right now, but it would be better off playing them at the MCG because when we play their home game, we're playing where? In Perth.
Yeah.
It serves Adelaide to play, Port Adelaide to play us because of the support that they would have there. So there's that argument, but then there's $1 million.
Yeah. I mean, if you won, it wouldn't even be
We
a
wouldn't be
discussion.
talking about it. You just keep rolling.
But that's sport, and I'm all for taking the game to regional locations. I am, even as a Melbourne supporter. That I said it out loud. To want to go to the MCG, I do have a theory, which is a little bit out there, and no one likes it, especially St Kilda supporters. But I tell St Kilda to go play out of Frankston Oval.
Yep.
And I would redevelop that ground and say, you're now the Frankston Saints or whatever. Call them St Kilda, don't change their name. But you play there, and all of the Mornington Peninsula basically has a hub for St Kilda. And you take, I think Andy Maguire already said this isn't revolutionary, but you take North Melbourne and say, go further north. Go north.
So
Melbourne.
far north that
go
you
north where
no
there's
longer.
stuff, or maybe not stuff.
Yeah.
But go north. And the Bulldogs go back to Whitten Oval and redevelop that. And have these regional grounds because regional football is really cool.
Could you be Northern Australian Kangaroos?
Boing, boing.
But look, you got to. I think for North Melbourne to be saved, you need to almost join up with another team, don't you? To take the
Well, they can get a whole heap of
smarter people
draft picks.
work in this place. The draft picks aren't coming anytime soon. It's going to be a deep draft coming,
Well, if they
apparently,
went to
and we've had.
What if they went to Tasmania?
we've had Jason Taylor sit right next to us saying that this year, off camera, he said it's going to be a really deep draft, and that's exciting.
You know what he said? Remember when he said about Harley Reid?
Yeah,
He wanted to answer the question because I asked him before we went on air, and I said, Can you say to tell everyone how good Harley Reid? I want to ask you that question, and I forgot to ask the question, and he reminded me to ask the question, and he goes, he's really good.
Yeah, all right, enough. See how you just get it back onto the West Coast Eagles and Harley Reid all the time? No, I'm just joking. Yeah, no, he did say that, and true to form, he's really produced.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind the tackle.
Oh, it wasn't that bad at all.
He chased him down.
Yeah.
Momentum swings him. Yeah, okay. I understand the rules now and the reason why.
Yeah.
But I don't think what he did was malicious at all.
No.
It was just a really strong tackle.
And the Darcy that ran
Sam
through...
Darcy's... I think
he ran through...
Yeah.
What's his name? Maynard. Pretty badly.
He did.
And it's the same penalty. This is where you keep going, come on.
But
Harley Reid should have got one.
You know what they'll say? Oh, we're trying to stamp it out.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Is that how they say that?
Something like that. That's the best comeback to any insult.
And most of Melbourne supporters are like, yeah, well, that Maynard hit, he deserved a bonus week for not. He should have got 4, but let's just drop it to 2 because everyone in Melbourne was like, bravo, excellent. I really liked that hit on Maynard. Hopefully he never plays again too.
If we had a Monopoly game, or AFL Monopoly game, and you landed on community chest or chance, and you flipped it over, I say it again, an AFL Monopoly game, it would say something like, knock Brandon Maynard out, receive $200. I don't mean that, Brad. He's a good bloke.
I'm sure he didn't. I'm sure he didn't mean it.
No, of course he didn't.
Mean it.
Of course he didn't. It's
a
tough game.
We speak in jest.
We're speaking jest. Harley
I don't
Reid,
even know what that means.
Sam Darcy,
speak in jest,
and they're young kids too, and they're going at it. So I don't
it's
bemoan them
fine. Which just sucks though, because as someone that we just want to watch football. And I don't have a lot to watch when I watch the Eagles. I want to watch Harley Reid.
Yeah.
And if he's not playing, it's really annoying. And I enjoy watching Darcy too, and that's really annoying. I want to see some kids play.
That too. Hi, Yvonne. Ryan's really vocal at the moment. Good to see, mate. I'm loving your passion on the comments at the moment. Paul Wicks. Hello, Herbie. We just got to say hello to the Louise, Barry, and Ruth, of course, our regulars.
Never
and I spoke to someone randomly not long ago. They said they just tuned in to watch a little bit of our show when we interviewed someone, and it was a brief, quick conversation. They had to go. Yeah. They didn't say who it was, but they only wanted to watch for a minute, and they ended up watching 45 minutes. They loved it so much.
Oh, wow.
So that one person.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great. And we've got to get more people on. And I've got a really special guest coming up soon.
Oh, yeah?
Cannot wait for this guest. Tonight, we just wanted to talk about the Demons and what happened up there.
Yeah,
so here it is, right? I think we were slow, lethargic, weren't quite mentally on, okay? We weren't sharp.
Yeah.
And in this league, you will get exposed. Now, I've been part of games, and I want to digress here. I've been part of games, especially 2,000 New Melbourne supporters. Remember when we lost to Carlton by almost 100 points halfway through the season? We had a week off. We went away, had a good hard look at ourselves, good honest conversations, and then we got on the beers together. Together. In a big share house thing.
Yeah.
We came back.
Had a good hard look at yourself.
Good hard look at ourselves. Good honest conversations.
Yeah.
We came back.
Maybe that's what's needed.
We didn't lose a game. We lost. I think we lost a close one on the way to a grand final in 2000. So we didn't lose a game after that, effectively. So it can happen. And I think 2 weeks before that Carlton game, we may have been beaten by North Melbourne by 100 points. So it's not all over. And everyone in the media now wants to say it's over because it sells. It's sexy.
It's sensational.
It's sensational, and everyone on the street wants to come up to me.
How good would it be on Monday if it wasn't over? If Melbourne came back and belted them?
Yeah.
It makes some people this week look very, very silly.
Yep. Absolutely. And I'm hoping for that. I think the football world is hoping for that. And here's your chance. Collingwood are really injured at the moment. Really injured. But they fight. And if they had a full team, they'd be really hard to beat.
Yes.
But right now they're wounded. And it's jugular time. Okay, if you are not hard-nosed this week, come out and play your ass off then something's wrong. Okay, so if you don't have a reason to play, like Neil Danaher and the MND freeze and all that sort of stuff,
Yeah.
something's wrong. So it's an exciting week for Melbourne. It's also very nerve-wracking.
Make or break.
Yeah. But you and I will be hobnobbing it.
Well, we will be you said to me I would come to you in the committee room and I'd get to wear a suit.
We shall be in the committee room.
I only wear suits to weddings and funerals, but apparently I now wear one for the football.
Let's hope it's not a funeral.
Which is a novelty. What a novelty. Can I wear my Celtics hat because we're playing that day?
You're not allowed to wear anything like that. Oh, yeah,
Really?
yeah,
You're not allowed to wear hats?
Oh, no, God, no. It's
What's that only
suit
about hair
jacket
day?
only. And only if
Only
a
a suit
senior
jacket. How weird
MCC
would it be?
person in the room, the president will be in the room of the MCC. If he says we're allowed to take our jacket off, then we're allowed to. Otherwise, we're not allowed to.
La-di-da.
No mobile phones.
What time are the horse races running?
Go
not
number
running.
go number 24.
Round we go. That's exciting. It's exciting. It's good to have some tradition. It's a little bit weird, but I'm looking forward to it. Hope my suit fits.
Why not?
One for
It'll
a
be
while.
good. It'll be good. Yeah, I agree with you, Steve. We were just a little bit reactionary. We were a step off the pace, and I think Christian Petrarca, I watched him on one of the Fox Footy shows last night. He was talking about how they just couldn't hit targets, and they just weren't able to arrest it back. And you can't answer. I got to tell you, people listening in, when it starts to go wrong like that, and I mean really wrong, and you know you're off, it's hard to get it back.
Yep.
And people say, oh, yeah, there's no excuse. You should be able to tackle and get in there and go hard. But I've been there. And you try that, and it just doesn't work.
Yep. So you just have bad days.
And Fremantle had an excellent day.
Yeah.
But the thing I think is, Fremantle kicked the first 2 goals.
Yeah, and it looked like it was going to be a bloodbath the other way round for the first 5 or 6 minutes. Like, oh, this is good.
Damn. Do you know
what
happened?
Some.
Do you know what happened? I think it was the third quarter. One of the Fremantle boys kicked it out of bounds on the full.
Yeah.
And I was standing right there. And in the Alice, I was sitting underneath the grandstand there. There's a bit of a balcony, and the ball rolls in there, and I go and pick it up. I'm about 25 metres away, Clary Oliver's standing there, like, passes to me, Robbo. Oh, it's my kick.
Yeah.
He didn't say that. He just put his hand up.
Yeah.
I kicked it with my mic in one hand, the ball in the other.
Yeah.
Bang, stabbed past it straight on his chest.
Yeah.
He turned around and he booted it into the forward line long. Tommy McDonald picked it up, kicked a goal. And I'm like, turn to the crowd.
You've been the half back line.
That's
where
what
where have I been?
I turned to someone, I said, that's how you fucking do it. Still goal assist. I'm assisting.
Yeah. It's good. Did you feel good after? You're like, yeah. Imagine if you didn't. But you did. So that's good.
My chest pumped right out.
Yeah. Oh.
And everyone's like, oh, Robbo, still going, you get your head there. No, it was a bad day, and I think we need to move on for it as soon as possible. And Simon Goodwin would be doing that. He'd be saying, the questions are going to be thrown from all quarters.
Oh, it's bad. They just, I'm going to say it. I'll bring it up now. I'm on a lot of Melbourne forums on Facebook.
Yep.
And the reaction of some of the supporters was utterly disgusting.
I'm
on a lot of the West Coast Eagles forums, and their performance has been utterly disgusting for years.
Yeah.
And they're like, let's just get behind them, let's do this. But the reaction of some supporters, and I know that doesn't speak to the majority, and it would never speak to the people that listen to this podcast because they're diehard Melbourne supporters, but people that think they're going to, like someone burning their membership during the week, or let's drive out to Casey and petition to get Goodwin sacked, is just disgusting. And people saying Oliver's slow and he's overweight, and like...
I was a bit disappointed with that one, to be honest with you, because I think we have moved on as a I don't know, a society and
we're not as
community, as a
you
football community.
You know what I really wish? I wish, and this is what I want for social media. And I work in the internet.
Yeah.
I said it out loud, and then I went, I work in the internet.
It sounded like
I work in tech.
Yeah,
right.
someone who knows nothing about the internet. That's how they would.
I
say
work in the Google. Answering questions from people when they ask me questions about things.
Yeah.
The Google. So I work in tech, but what I've had a long held belief that do not say anything online that you would not say to someone's face.
Good one.
And I would love to drag the people that say these things in front of the person and say, now
and
say
that
it, you
now.
keyboard warrior.
Say it to my face. Yeah,
It's just not good enough. Like,
a good comment.
Let's not be like that.
I like that. That's a good one.
And as we become more tech and we become more digital and the community is bigger online, we just got to make sure that that's part of the ethos of the community and the club.
Yeah. The Gary Hughes says, is there anything happening at the club that may have triggered Sunday's loss? And I don't think so. What I think is this, and maybe we can move on because you've got some stuff you want to talk about too, but maybe it's hard to stay up all the time. Now, there's a lot of pressure on Petrarca and Max Gawn and Oliver because they've been so good. So good. Petrarca, what, 4 best and fairest?
He's just playing exceptionally well, consistently.
For
Petrarca,
a long period of time, he's been.
All year, all last year.
Petrarca's been really, really good. And his X factor is amazing.
Max Gawn.
And you and I were there the night watching on the TV, like everybody was, when Melbourne played that grand final, and they turned it on. And we're waiting for that to happen again.
What,
and
you were watching the grand final with me during COVID?
You remember? You might.
When you weren't supposed to be here. Was that? Can you get retrospectively fined?
No.
No, Dan.
No, you can't.
No fine.
Where is he now?
Country club
Where's
somewhere.
Dan Andrews now?
I don't care. Keep going.
Move on.
But he's been up for the whole time.
So the question is, there's some questions coming through, like Gary's just asked, is the season stuff catching up to us? It's a lot of things. And I think it is because I've been there and I know this pressure. It's tough to keep. It sounds like come on, Robbo. You get paid all this money and you should be able to cop it. And look at Geelong and Richmond and Hawthorn and the way they've been able to, in the past, sustain, good football. Okay, all right, okay.
They haven't, though.
Yeah, no. And Melbourne have been, by and large, pretty good over the last 3 years. Weren't able to get through a couple of final series because of some real issues in our forward line, injuries in our forward line. We had no consistency, and you need that.
This stuff comes down to luck too.
Absolutely. So, look, no, I don't think this is a trend. I don't know if I've loved every game that Melbourne's played this year, but I could say that about a lot of clubs.
Yeah.
Sydney have been amazing. Hats off. We'll leave our hats on because I go Dallas. But hats off to Sydney. They've been really solid this year.
You've been so quiet all year about the basketball. And
I haven't.
They make the finals, and all of a sudden,
I wear this hat
out it comes
all the time.
Mate, I've seen you in a Nuggets hat. Do you want to explain
why
you
have not seen me in a Nuggets hat?
We did a show, and you were wearing a Nuggets
No,
shirt.
I want you to find that show.
I'll find it.
Find that show and prove me wrong. I never wear anything else other than Dallas. I love the Dallas Mavericks because of Dirk Nowitzki. I think that's how you say it.
Move on.
And Luca, my guy. And it's mostly because of Chris Anstey. What a legend, my mate.
But they've been...
We're going to get him on.
Yeah, we should. They've been... Melbourne has been relatively consistent. They drop a game against Fremantle, sure. Shouldn't have lost against Melbourne, West Coast. That was a terrible loss.
It was a terrible loss.
But at the 8 is still wide open. Like they've gone to now 10th.
Yeah.
But it can go straight back again. It starts with this game against Collingwood. And they've had a hard round.
Gary Hughes says 82 weeks in the top 8 is a pretty good record. Like that's pretty good.
It's unbelievable.
You take it. And it has
stats.
It's not
Gary,
it's
thanks
not
for that.
It's not linear, right? It's up and down. And it's going to be. So you need to have these situations in a year because you learn more from your losses. You hope that your losses aren't that big though, but you learn more from your losses. And Petrarca said it last night on Fox Footy. We're going to have disappointing times, and we need to learn from this and get better.
But I think we're spoiled because, people have short-term memories because they see Collingwood win multiple. They saw Geelong win multiple. But if we go back to I was watching a YouTube documentary of the Eagles back in the day and the great rivalry between the Eagles and the Sydney. Let's remember they only won one premiership each during their peak.
Yeah.
One. That's it. They didn't win 3. Winning 3 like Hawthorn did, and Brisbane, that's freak stuff. It's freak. It doesn't have to happen. And the fact that I think Melbourne will still compete, it will be fun.
How has the Eagles got away with this for so long?
What's that?
perennially bad. Like,
Oh, no, but they're getting better now.
Oh, wow.
How's North Melbourne, though?
marginally.
How's North Melbourne, though? They still haven't won a game this year.
Yeah, they're the real issue,
What
aren't
have they won, like, one game in 4 years?
What does everybody think?
I know they won a couple to not get Harley Reid.
Guys listening, tell me what you think about North Melbourne and what should we do with the Kangaroos, because I don't see them getting any better anytime
And
soon.
no one goes to, you know
It's
what
not
I
so-
think? No one goes to their games and no one goes to St Kilda games anymore.
And that's the thing, St Kilda.
They
as
don't
well.
go. They don't go to the games.
One premiership.
But they don't go to games either. I know lots of supporters. No one goes to their games anymore. And I can't. My only solution was like, take them to Frankston and make it a festival and make it fun and take it out of Marvel Stadium, which is a terrible place to watch football, and take it down there and create like a Geelong atmosphere. Like Geelong is
That's a
getting
good idea.
45,000 people
But it
to
won't
that
happen.
regional game.
You know why it won't happen? Because they just went back to Linton Street and they've got an amazing training facility there that's really involving the community in that place, but it's not St Kilda.
Just play the games down there.
Yeah. No, I like that idea. Because it is kind of a festival atmosphere when you play.
Imagine,
I'm going to say, like,
I
when
mean,
you
there's
play.
not a lot going on in Frankston, but imagine
No, but-
Saturday night,
No, yeah.
lights are on, like in Geelong. It's a festival, like they're bringing the game to town. This is
Yeah.
the big thing. And
Could you take
people
it
from
further
Mornington-
down?
Yeah, but you have to build
Because
a
it's
stadium.
awesome down the peninsula.
Mornington, you could the stadium in the ground in Mornington on Mornington Main Street, but there's no train line.
I won't do it because
Frankston's obvious because there's a train line, so people can catch the train
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Moorabbin
yeah.
and they'll be at Frankston. It's 20 minutes, just like going to the G.
Yeah.
Wouldn't make any difference to St Kilda supporters.
Yeah.
I think it's like for them, open up the whole peninsula and get people up from Mornington and Portsea and Sorrento. And
Look, it'll always be the North Melbourne Kangaroos. It'll always be the St Kilda Saints unless they amalgamate two teams together.
19
Why
teams
would you
doesn't
change it?
work.
You can move them, but it's going to be a massive expense.
It doesn't work. And then there are people talking now. There's a lot of debate going on about Koshi's now like arced up about how, they were talking about travel. And he was like, well, look at West Coast. Look, and people, they get business class flights. Oh, come on.
No, they don't.
They get 12 business class flights. There's more than 12 people in a team.
They don't.
Flying after a game for 5 hours is not good.
No.
But we can't do conferences.
No.
That would suck. I just think maybe it's
No,
less
we'd never do
teams.
conferences. No, that's ridiculous. We don't want wholesale changes. We really don't.
What do the people want? I can't see anything. I gave you my iPad, which was dumb.
I mean, a lot of people are saying, well, hang on, there's going to be passion, a small group of passionate people to keep St Kilda, and I think St Kilda will always be around.
They can stay. They just need to go to a ground where they can get people to go to the games. They can't have 18,000 people going to games anymore. It's not the NRL.
The Saints supporters haven't warmed to Marvel, have they?
Nah. I mean, Frankston would be brilliant. Like,
No.
develop it properly.
I actually really like this idea. It's
develop
a good
it properly
idea.
and like do grassroots down there and
Like a really good stadium, something like the Americans do, something like
real
the Eagles have
boutique.
just done
Yeah,
over in
really
Perth.
nice stadium.
Now, I understand the
Where are
money
you going to get the
side.
money from?
Yeah, it's huge. Like, and will you fill a massive stadium down that way? I mean, that's the debate. But we're doing it down in Tasmania, aren't we?
But they
So
got like a Gold Coast type scenario where they have
Yeah.
good it's a
a niche little stadium, 50,000, because
Doesn't
that's all
even have to be
Marvel
that
is.
big.
That's all Marvel is, and you go there for the spectacle of it, and the peninsula needs to get involved in it. You got rid of Waverley, but Waverley was a shithole. It was
yeah
a shithole.
yeah.
Kick 7 there under 18s once against Queensland. Oh, it was a good game.
7 in the under 18s. You obviously didn't kick many more when you were playing properly.
Well, that was for Tasmania. That was state national football.
How did you go in the Tasmanian against who were you playing? Northern
Queensland.
Territory?
Queensland.
You played Queensland. No wonder you kicked 7.
We played Western Australia.
Yeah. You lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. You played Queensland. I played Queensland. Like
Gary
7.
Hughes, I like this one. A floating stadium off Frankston Pier.
Oh, that's good.
A floating stadium.
Because you can get away too. Let's not. Frankston's not. It's not the greatest place, but nor is Moorabbin.
I played a game in Frankston once, coming back from an Achilles injury in 2008, and I shit you not, it was so windy this day that the waves were crashing into the Frankston Pier, and the wave,
You feel it.
Yeah, the residue of the waves hitting on the ground
Really?
because the wind was so huge.
Yeah.
I kicked a ball from on the other side of, like, further than Malcolm Blight,
Yeah.
All I had to do was just touch it and just got through the goals.
That's awesome though.
Oh,
I love the whole idea of like novelty. Like I can't stand sterile Marvel roof closed. I do love
shit, isn't it?
I do love the ground conditions compared to what it used to be. Like it's way better than it used to be.
It's
but
just
I
not-
hate sterile. Like they're kicking with a wind now. It's like
about
4-goal difference. And
Like you look at your New Perth Stadium and the lights, the flicker,
Yeah,
the
it's
LED, the way they come out.
it
like
makes
in
you want to go there.
It's awesome, right? It's really cool. But Marvel is not cool.
No, it's not
your
cool at
uncle.
all. They've done it up a bit. I went to the soccer the other
Marvel
day.
is your uncle, just not cool. You know,
Marvel is your uncle.
Marvel is your uncle texting like this,
Yeah,
not using his thumbs. Not cool.
not cool at all. Not cool at all.
I was told that. Did you know that? Over in Perth, I was doing this and I was doing the squint thing and looking down like this and texting
Oh,
with
my
one
eyes
finger.
are going.
And Tajwa Woden's sister gets stuck in me for about 10 minutes. Look at you old man, with the old index finger point text. The old man.
Hey, you sent a message.
I didn't even realise.
Hey, you're sending a message.
I didn't realise you got to use your thumbs. So I've been really trying to get the thumbs going. Nothing beats the G, does it, Nicholas? Nothing does.
Nothing beats the G.
No. We're very lucky as Melbourne supporters. So look, let's put this to bed now because we've spoken enough about Melbourne, even though this is a very Melbourne podcast.
What else are we
I
talking
didn't
about?
like. Let's get into the NRs. My big NR,
yeah, right.
and it's a segment for us that we're trying to make regular. My big NR is: did you know that you're not allowed? I was on Dane Swan's podcast a couple of weeks ago, and he talked about how the information that you get from your GPS thing on the back, you know, they've all got one now, even during training. It's a closely guarded secret what they do at training and what they're doing in games because they don't want that getting out and people calling the player lazy and fat. You know, it's private information and we don't want them, you know, getting depressed because people are getting stuck in there about their work ethic. You know, that's the world we live in right now, you know. Got to be very careful. Right. What have we seen all week about Clary Oliver? Pictures of him with his shirt off and people just getting stuck into him about how he is.
Really?
Have you not seen it?
Nah.
On Fox
I
Footy.
don't watch the news.
It was it might
Is
have
that what
been
they're
Bucks. It might have been Bucks or one of these guys took photo. They were showing photos of Rivers and Clary walking with their shirts off, saying, this doesn't look like AFL players to me. They don't look hard edged. They look a bit frumpy. They look a bit. Come on now.
McGovern doesn't exactly look like he's cut.
No.
Let's be fair.
No.
And
Good
there
player.
are many players that are good players that this is body shaming.
Body shaming was what it was.
And it's
all
the
week.
reverse body shaming. Now,
Yeah,
if we
it
did
was
this to
Nathan Buckley.
females, can you imagine the uproar?
What did you think of that, guys?
It's actually disgraceful. It's disgraceful because if he did the same thing to an AFL women's club, can you imagine the headlines? I'm kind of tired of the it's okay to do it to men, but you can't do it to women. Sorry.
It's true.
Actually, you want an equal society,
Yeah.
start acting equally.
Yeah.
That comment, not okay.
Not okay. Because let's be honest, there isn't, you know, in all sports, beautifully sculpted bodies. Doesn't make them any less.
No.
Right? Even in women's sports.
No.
In women's football, are they going to show all of the girls, look, this doesn't look like a hard-edged footballer for me? That would be terrible. Why is it any different to having Clary Oliver plastered all over Fox Footy with his shirt off? I think it's absolutely disgusting behaviour.
It's fine to go, I'm going to reverse this. This is going to get super weird because I was thinking about it because I was picturing Stephen Tingay sitting on the couch next to you. And it's fine to picture Stephen Tingay and go like, great looking guy in the day and great body and amazing. I think he's hot, right? And I'm not gay, but I don't care. Like, you're allowed to say that, right?
Yep.
Compared to you, where you're like, well, can take a mark, probably not the most cut individual, but can play football. But I'm not judging their bodies on how well they play football. I'm judging how well they play football on how well they play football.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah.
That was such a weird way of saying it. And I knew it was going to be weird when I started.
I don't know how to feel about what you just said. I just thought I was in pretty good nick. But I take your point.
I don't like body shaming.
Stinger was an amazing and there have been really amazing bodies that have played. And
It's
are
not
they
okay
good
for-
footballers?
It's not okay for kids either. It's not okay for teenage boys to grow up thinking that if they've got a little bit of
Very true.
a little bit
It's a
of
good
fat
comment.
because they're still growing and they're still tall, that they got to have an eating disorder because they got to look like this
yeah.
AFL
I've gotta
player.
look like an AFL
That's
player.
not okay.
100%.
It's not all right.
It's hard enough as it is.
Yeah.
You know? And look, here's the other side of things.
Jesus, it's hot in here.
There are some footballers that get the best out of themselves by not being so intense and insane. And this is why Nathan Buckley was not such a good coach when he first came in. I think he got much better, but when he came in, he was saying,
My way,
you know,
my
this
way.
is the way I did it, and you all need to look like this.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not having a go at Nathan Buckley either as a person,
No.
because he's got a job to do, and that is to make commentary on what Melbourne just put up.
Yeah.
And maybe this is a way that someone said to him, "What about this? Have a look at
Yeah,
this."
but this is our media. This
yeah,
is how they make
that's
news.
how they make
and
news.
This is how they get stories. And they've got to find something every week. And I'm sure he's probably going, it's not really a story. Do I have to talk about it? Okay, well, we talk about it because what else are they going to talk about?
Yeah, it's very true. It's a sad story, state of affairs, but it's always been that way.
But you shouldn't do it.
God, they shouldn't look at the 1980s bodies for the footballers.
No.
Wow, but they could still play the game genuinely.
Yeah. I think, so the other one is my Yenna for this week. And I didn't have one because I wasn't sure.
So hang on, body shaming.
Yeah, no.
For a reason is that you lost by nearly 100 points. Yeah.
And I'm going to go on record to say Clayton Oliver, he'll rebound. He's a giant.
Yeah.
Because I got his little
good on you.
bubble head.
As a show of support.
Well, it was on sale actually. It's a bit weird. Not this
love
week
that.
though. I got it a couple of weeks ago. So I got it, and if you want to compare, right? We're going to compare the Clayton Oliver of today versus the Russell Robinson of yesterday.
Such a
Now-
poor design, this one too.
Now,
They just
I don't get why you're in a box. So there's that problem. So
never put Robbo in a box.
and head sizes are pretty proportionate.
Yeah. Mine's broken.
Yeah, I mean, he's got like his shoulder. He looks like a warrior. You've got a microphone in your left hand.
Do not.
But I don't know. I know they're different.
Barry
things,
Oliver's
but
a much better footballer than I was, that's for sure.
they're very cool. I like the bobbleheads. I'm a big fan. Oh, I've got another bobblehead for you. Can I get it? I'll get it. Sorry, mate.
How long is this going to take? Where are you going? Very good. Diesel Williams was an elite footballer with a dad bod, Gary Hughes. In fact, there was not many midfielders better than him. I did a coffee catch up with Diesel for the Ladbrokes thing that I do.
Oh yeah.
Arguments about footy over coffee, and I said to him,
It's quite a good show.
Yeah, it's good fun. Off camera, I said to him, "Do you have kids?" He said, "Yeah." How old? And they told me. I said, "They play football," and we had the girl plays, the boy plays. I said, "Is the boy like you?" And he goes, "Any good? He like you?" And he goes, "Impossible."
He was hard, wasn't he?
Oh, he's a good footballer. Jeez, I was a Carlton supporter
This is too
growing
good.
up.
That is too
If
good.
you do yourself a favour, and Fee just jumped online and bought a bottle of gin from None Such Distillery down in Tasmania. Thank you.
We've got lots of the gin now. Really awesome.
And it is such a good drop, and they are such good people down there. Fee, they're brothers. Is that correct? That are working down there? Can you?
Dad and son.
Father and son. And they know how to make whiskey and gin. And they've got a sherry as well. They sent us a sherry. Jump online and use the code in the discount code box. Everyone knows where that is.
Yeah,
I think it's just Robbo.
wasn't it?
Just
Robbo,
Robbo.
we used it.
Yeah.
You get a discount, and you're supporting a local Tassie business, and it's really good stuff.
really
It's not a
good
big
drink.
Lion Nathan, big Cult United.
No,
It's,
this is a family business.
local family, and it's very, very good stuff. And I love more of that. I also love my Jason Tatum bobblehead.
That's really good.
That's probably about the right height.
Did you get that?
Fee got it for me. Did you get this for me? Little Jason Tatum? Jason Tatum is going to dominate you. He hasn't had a very good series so far, but You
No,
know,
he hasn't. And you've done nothing. You've beaten no one. You've beaten the Indiana Pacers and they've lost.
We have
They
the
lost.
best
Didn't
record in the
Halliburton get
NBA.
injured? And
they have the best record in the NBA.
Cleveland, they didn't
Best
have.
record in the NBA.
Mitchell was injured. They had the best record because they had an
4-0.
easy conference, nice easy run in. And
See how
hey,
we go, dickhead.
you'll probably beat us, but I'm really proud of the Dallas Mavericks and what they've done because there was a lot of knockers on Kyrie. And come on, get off Kyrie's back. He is a
He
gun.
thinks the world is flat.
No,
He
it
does,
doesn't
doesn't he,
matter.
Fee? Kyrie thinks, yes, she's nodding. Kyrie he honestly thinks
So
the world is flat,
what?
which is amazing because he flies all the time and he
long as
must
he-
see the curvature of the earth.
As long as he dribbles the ball like he
He's
does.
dribbling, all right. He is dribbling. He is dribbling
But
nonsense.
do you know, I love his story because he's really good at layups and spinning the ball off the backboard.
You're dribbling.
I am now. No. But this is true, and this is a good lesson for kids. He didn't have a backboard that was complete. It was holes all through it, and so he had to learn how to spin the ball off areas so it would get some backboard rebound. So it comes from poverty and makes it huge. So well done to him.
Good for him.
Where's the gin? Aaron Cusack asks. Where's the
We've
gin?
got it. Fee's got one. She's destroyed it.
Oh,
Oh, what's the gin? It's none such. It's actually a.
It does say that.
It's just a straight, not very botanical. It's dry, like just a dry
Palatable sort of.
navy strength.
Yeah.
It is navy strength.
What I
when you
like
put,
about this
5 shots in.
is a gin that is a whiskey easy to drink, but it's not too sweet. Like it's not one of those
Yeah.
sweet. You want more. It's
this is
a traditional tasting whiskey with its tasting like can I say like a whiskey should taste,
yeah.
but it's easy to drink as well. I don't know what I'm saying there.
No, it is easy to drink. Like you normally would. Well, we've always gone, oh, you got to put whiskey, you got to put Coke with it, but you don't with this. Like it's really easy to drink. You wouldn't do that with gin.
No, you'd put
Not
some.
unless you're a little bit of a psycho.
Hey, State of Origin's on tonight.
Oh yeah.
And people are going to jump off and go watch that. Aaron just said that and I understand that fully.
So we'll
What
get
are
going.
you, Queensland or New South Wales?
Queensland.
Queensland.
I'm from WA.
Me too.
So I don't like New South Wales. Full
I'm not
stop.
from WA, but I'm a Queenslander.
Yeah. Okay.
Through and through because I like to holiday there.
So no one likes Tasmania. Hey, before we go, really quick, I'm going to show some stats.
We don't have to go. But
Oh, we
anyway,
don't? Okay.
no, go on.
Faye, can you pull those stats up? There we go. Look at this. So everyone's saying Melbourne's done. And so I did some work today.
Yep.
I was on a really boring call, if I'm really honest. And the person I was on the call with could probably hear me doing screenshots. It was going chink,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I was
yeah.
putting it into a slide deck. Chink, slide deck. I was looking at the Melbourne midfield, right?
Yep. I like this.
And I was going,
This is good.
so everyone's going, oh, they're done. The midfield's finished. It's no good. And so I compared, it's this year versus last year.
Yep.
So Max Gawn, disposals this season is above average. So it's season versus career. Okay, so it's not season on season,
Yep.
but and then you have like an average. And so disposals, he's above. Kicks, he's elite. His handballs are above. Clearances, we all know that, is well above. Anyway, Max Gawn is playing a better season than he's probably played. So
And I would have gone with that because he's been amazing this year.
So it's not the ruck. Like fantasy points, and I used to play the fantasy thing, but it got too difficult for me to work out.
Yep.
But he's way higher than he's ever been, right? So you go, okay, tick, Ruckman, playing better.
Yep.
Petrarca, disposals, up. Kicks, similar. Handballs, up. Even though he's been playing in the forward line a little bit as well, which has been a bit weird. Marks is up. Tackles, about the same.
Yep.
Clearances is up. Fantasy points is up.
Wow.
Right?
Yep.
And it's not year on year, it's against an average. But it's
Yep.
like, okay, so you can't go like, this isn't completely like, oh my God.
Shocking photo.
It's a terrible photo.
Yeah.
Come on, Clary. Right. Disposals is above average, but he's down.
Yeah.
Kicks is the same. Handballs is down.
Really down.
Really down. Actually, if you look at Melbourne, and I'll come to, I use ChatGPT to do some analysis, handballing of Melbourne is down significantly.
Yeah.
So they're not handballing the ball much
Yeah,
anymore.
okay. Yeah, right. Well, that makes sense.
Why?
It's What? Because
It's
you just
not-
made sense.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I said it made sense.
Okay.
You thought I said it didn't
Okay,
make
well,
sense.
that made sense. And I was like, oh, why is there something I didn't know? So marks is pretty much the same. Tackles is down a little bit. Clearances is down, even though we're winning. Max is winning the ruck knocks. Fantasy points is down. Okay, so Clayton's off a little.
But you know,
based
what
on
I
this.
would expect, if I can comment on this one, I would expect 2 points I want to make. I would expect him to be down after the off season that he's had and the obvious personal issues.
Yep.
And also, I'd expect him to be down based on that photo. It looks like it looks like
It
a
doesn't
half,
even look like him.
looks like a half done haircut. Hang on, I haven't finished yet. Sit back down. No, I gotta go.
Yeah. I got to get in the midfield. I got to get my stats up.
Yeah.
So, but if you average it out and you go like they're up 20% and he's down 10%, it nets out the same. This is the point.
I love it.
Jack Viney, pretty similar.
Yep.
Disposals is average, about on par. His kicks are up. His handballs are down.
Again.
Marks, similar. Tackles is up. And he's elite for tackles.
Yep.
We all know that.
Yeah.
He loves tackling. I mean, his head is designed for tackling. He looks like the He-Man guy that was designed for like ramming people. That was always going to be his forte. Clearances is dead on, and his fantasy points are up.
Yeah.
So, like, arguably, he's up as well. And Neil Bullen, he plays in the midfield as well.
Yeah.
And he's up. And he's actually had a pretty good year from all accounts. Kicks, handballs.
Handballs are up.
Handballs are up. His disposals are up. His tackles are up. Goals, whatever. Fantasy points are up.
Yeah. I'd be interested to see, and this might be for the next show, where Melbourne's forward line situation has
Yeah, we'll do
improved.
that.
Because I would have said it's an improvement on last year because it was an obvious problem last year, our forward line.
Yep.
And connectivity into our forward line. I feel like that's improved.
So, what I did, now this is interesting. What I did is I've been mucking around with ChatGPT because I'm too lazy to use Excel. So I took 2024 stats against 2023 stats and I put it into ChatGPT. And then I tried to do some analysis and I asked ChatGPT to tell me what's the most interesting. Now, no one understands the AFL. An AI is not going to figure out
No one can tip
what is going on.
100%. Yep.
What is going on. But if we compare year on year for Melbourne, the age has decreased very, very, very small. Experience has decreased. The Supercoach points has decreased. Goals has decreased by 1.4
Can we
goals
talk about
on average.
each one before you roll through them real fast?
Yeah, I was going through them fast because I didn't know if I could explain
This
them.
is
but yeah.
great. Can I talk
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it?
you
So let's
can
go
talk
from the top.
Yep.
Age has decreased. That's good.
Yep.
Move
It's only
on.
marginal, but yeah.
Experience has decreased, which is
That's games.
really important. So
Yep.
on average, less 3 games.
Yep.
It's kind of marginal.
Yep.
It's not huge,
Yep.
but you would expect that with Caleb Windsor.
Yep.
And a couple other young guys coming through.
Yep.
Tajwa
First game.
Woden
Yep.
and so that's a real positive.
Yep.
Super coach, don't give a rat's ass about that. Goals decreased. That's probably says more about the competition than it does
Could be.
an individual team.
Yep.
I'll get to where you
Total
want
points
for.
for
You
has
read them out and
decreased
I'll
by
talk
11.
about 'em. Okay, so total points for,
scoring 11 points less per game on average.
again, that can be a league-wide effect and not necessarily a team.
Could be. Be interesting to compare it against the
If you're still winning though, if you still are up, in terms of win-loss ratio,
Yep.
it's not a major concern.
Total points against has increased by 8.8.
That's not great.
Nope.
That's
Both
that's
of
a
those
bad
trends are the wrong way around.
a bad thing.
Yep. Shots at goal, a goal has decreased by 2.97 per game.
And going back to that one, there has been a little bit more disrupt in our backline than probably last year. Am I right in saying that? Supporters out there?
Like Lever's been injured for a lot of this year.
He's sort of in and out of there.
May
and-
was injured for a while.
Yeah.
He had a broken rib,
Yes, he did. Yeah.
punctured lung, or whatever happens to him whenever he plays.
Shots at goal decreased by 2.97.
Inside
Right.
50s is down by 8.
That's not good.
Nope.
That's not
That's
good.
a big number, actually.
8 a game is not good. So that needs to improve.
The rest I get a bit funny. I don't know even like I blur points from turnover differential. This is where you need the Fox Footy people, and they're like, "Oh well, actually, that's
Yeah, but boring.
Oh, so boring.
Like,
Move on.
boring.
Tackles. So I just skipped it. I went tackles has increased by 2.3. Maybe you don't have as much as the ball, so that's why you're trying to get it back. So you're tackling more. So the intensity doesn't seem to be that off.
The big one there is pressure axe differential. That's an increase of
Increase.
35.9. That's awesome
Yeah.
because that's what you want to set your brand of football on.
Yeah, so the people burning their memberships to go, they're not putting in enough effort. Actually, the pressure acts have increased.
And I think that's what they're rating themselves on at the moment. And on the weekend, we know that it was not good enough.
Yeah.
Their hard-nosed edge wasn't there. And on the flip side, going back the other way, because offense comes from defense. It really does.
Yeah.
And they weren't able to get their offensive game because all of that stuff was down. So that's a really good point.
Yeah, so spoils has increased by 2.
Hit outs decreased. Don't worry about that. Hit outs
Hit-outs
to
as well.
advantage differential increased. That's
Increased.
it's marginal. Bounces different.
Bounces.
I'm not really worried about
How many
bounces.
bounces are you having?
Well,
One
I
of the
mean,
guys bounced and he took 2 steps. He just thought he was playing basketball and he went bounce.
I don't know. It'd be
That doesn't
interesting to
matter.
look at a really poor team and see where they're at with all of these things.
could
as
do that.
well. So I think we'll.
I
do
just
that
threw
next
this in a chat GPT today,
It's
ran some
interesting.
analysis and just went, okay. And then I did one against Collingwood versus Melbourne.
Oh my god!
And I said, take the average of Melbourne this year, compare it to Collingwood this year, and help me
Collingwood.
understand what's going to happen in the game this weekend.
Collingwood's going to be really down, surely,
So
year on year.
Collingwood's average age is 27. Melbourne's average age is 26.
That's a huge differential.
Huge. It's 1 year. It's massive. Collingwood has more experienced players with an average of 127 games. Melbourne has an average of 113.
Yep, huge.
Rating points, don't worry about it. Supercoach, don't worry about it. And they're similar
Dream
dream
team,
team.
that.
Coaches, who gives a shit?
Yeah, thank you.
Points from difference, these things don't matter. I don't even understand them. Tackle difference.
So this is where it gets interesting. Defensive and offensive metrics. I like this. Tackle difference. Collingwood, I would have said, are a
Way
much better tackling
higher.
team.
Yes, way higher.
Now, does that mean
This
you're a
stems
better
from when you
team?
used to play.
Does that mean you're a better team? What? Shut up. Melbourne.
Culturally can't tackle because of the
Well-
Robinson impact. Phenomenon. It's tackle gate.
The Robbo effect.
The Robbo effect.
Oh, you
it's,
can get stuff.
it's tackle gate.
No. But
Nah.
anyway, it's that's damning. That's not good. And
Got to
look,
be careful with the stats too, because I don't know. Actually, now I check it. I want to be careful. I don't think it's 2024 versus 2024. It's their variation, maybe. Or no, it might be. No.
it just doesn't seem right. Tackle differential, 9 tackles, what is it? 9.333 a game.
No, it's up. So it's their
Up
it's
9
their stats versus Melbourne stats year on year.
Well, we need to see the metrics from the year before.
So like Melbourne's tackle difference, if we go back, tackle,
It's increased by 2.323.
yeah, tackle difference increased by 2-3. So it's year on year. So Collingwood has increased their tackle count this year, but haven't been winning any more games.
That just means the opposition's got the ball a lot
They
more.
don't have it. They don't have the ball as much.
Yep.
They're
And I feel like Melbourne has a lot of the ball in games, but not as damaging. And it's been probably 3 years of that since
and
the
the one
grand final.
percenters shows like Collingwood's doing more this year than they did last year, but aren't winning, and Melbourne's is down, and they aren't winning. They're same position.
Well,
so it
Collingwood's
doesn't
not
tell us
winning.
shit.
Collingwood's not winning. They're tackling well, and I think teams everywhere tackle pretty well and pressure, and it's just a byproduct of football these days. But the quality of player that's playing going back the other way, Collingwood this year have a lot of injuries and a lot of their good players, so that connection down the ground and that possession, they're not holding on to it as much. Melbourne's no excuse. This is the issue, and this is why we're under the pump at the moment. We've got no excuse. We've got pretty much everyone out there. We've got a full deck to choose from.
Yeah.
Maybe 1 or 2 injuries. Obviously, Lever's a big out, but it's one. Petty's there, and people would correct me and say, "Oh, well, this guy's out and that guy's out." Would probably step. I like the team we've got. I mean, I'm
Most clubs
pretty
have
confident.
big players that aren't playing, and you have
God.
all your big players playing apart from Lever.
So it's really important that do what Simon Goodwin's talking about. Play your brand, get your defensive pressure and all that rating up, and then connectivity going back the other way needs to improve. It was really damning. That game, the last game we played. Let's move on from this. We weren't able to hit a target.
Nah,
What are you looking at me like that for?
It looked like she was dying at the desk.
Yeah. She's so bored with we're talking stats.
Oh, she's got a sore neck.
We're talking stats. And she's got a sore neck. You're going to have to give her a massage tonight, Davo.
She went for a massage today. She went to Endota Spa.
Oh, jeez.
And I
State
did,
obviously didn't
and
do a
I
very
did
good job.
passports. I had to do like admin, and she went to Endota Spa.
All right, we're going to wrap this thing up, Fee, and get
Why
back
now? This is just getting interesting.
get back to life. Do you want to talk about Bang On? What's the Bang On game for this week?
Bang on game is
Friday night, Bulldogs, Brisbane. This is going to be a really good game. Do you know why? I don't know why.
because Brisbane haven't played for a week.
Brisbane are struggling.
And the Bulldogs have they've got some form. They beat
I
Collingwood.
really like their form. I like. It's just disappointing that they've got three big outs. Three of their best players, I would have thought, almost.
Bulldogs.
Yeah, so we're not their best player. I really like Cody Waitman. I think he's really good.
Who?
Is that his name? Cody Waitman?
What?
Yeah.
Hey.
The blonde forward. He's out for another 4 weeks.
Okay.
Cody Waitman. Come on, man. Tom Lutore's been out. I think he's
I
back.
know you.
You're such a West Coast person. Aaron Norton's out
Yeah, that's not
4
good.
weeks. I don't consider him the top 4. But Bailey Smith, season. Like, he's a superstar. You know, the big, long,
Bailey Smith.
really good player.
Too much trouble.
Yeah, but still really good player. And they're still there and abouts. You know, they haven't been super impressive. But last week I thought they played really, really well.
It's funny how
Brisbane are doing what Melbourne are doing. They're up and down like a honeymooners.
Yeah, they're all over the place. Is it at the Fun Park, Marvel?
It's at Marvel, 7:40. Who are you tipping there for Bang On? Are you giving away your tip? Or are you
Yeah,
keeping it a
I
secret?
reckon Brisbane by 19.
I'm going to go the Bulldogs by 8. Close game, good game. It's going to be a really good game. I'm going the Bulldogs. I'm just not sure about Brisbane. They're either really good or really bad.
I think the Bulldogs have been really good. I mean, they beat Collingwood.
Yeah.
But they've
Collingwood
won
again.
They've won a lot of games.
They've got some really important outs to Brisbane, like some really important cogs. Lincoln McCarthy. And there was that game, remember? Was it Douday? Darcy Gardner. Hipwood's out with suspension till round 13.
You know what I would do? Whatever.
Ainsworth, he's
Given-
out. And Will Ashcroft, he'll make his return this year. I cannot wait to see him back. He's an absolute out-and-out superstar, and he's going to blow the competition away when he gets back. He's going to rival your Harley Reeds. He's a really good player. It was a really disappointing loss for them last year.
What I do know is whoever I tip, I'm wrong because I'm hopeless.
So there you go. I'm going to win.
So I'm like,
Hayden Coleman, there's another one as well, went down in that game. So I'm just getting those.
say-
I'm loving the fact that I'm remembering these names.
yeah, it's really good.
Um,
Do you use ChatGPT to try and
no, you love your
educate
chat GPT.
educate you on?
Can I finish up with a joke?
Yeah,
It's got swearing in it. Are we a swearing show?
I don't think it matters.
I don't think it matters. And it's you may have heard this joke before. I think it's just great. So a fella wants to buy a parrot. Goes into the I don't know, where's a place that they sell parrots now?
Pet shop?
Well, let's
Don't
go
really
with
have
pet
them,
shop
do
for
they?
the sake of this joke. That'll do.
Yeah.
Wasn't online in one of those illegal. No, anyway, pet shop goes in. Says, I'd like to buy that parrot. He goes, oh, you don't want that parrot. That parrot swears. It's a terrible parrot. He goes, don't worry about it. I'll sort him out. What does he say? He said, you just don't want to know. It's just really bad. Anyway, he goes, I can turn this around. I'm a bit of a horse whisperer. I'm a bit of a parrot whisperer. I'll sort it right out. Give this parrot to me. I'll fix it. Takes the parrot home. Gets it in the house. Pulls off the sheet. The parrot looks and he goes, get fucked. He goes, throttles the cage. Don't swear like that at me. You swear at me like that, you're not going to get any food for a week. Throttles the cage again. Parrot sort of goes quiet. Next day he walks in. As soon as he walks in the room, hey, get fucked. Goes over again. That's it. If you swear like that again, rattles the cage. I'm going to drown you. That's it. You're going to die. You're not going to live. I'm going to kill you if you say something like that to me again. Parrot goes quiet. Next day he walks in. Parrot looks at the man. He looks at it and goes, Parrot goes, hey. And the bloke goes, what? And he goes, you know what? You know what?
Get fucked.
He didn't say it though. Hey, Melbourne players, get out on the ground tomorrow. When is it? Monday.
Monday.
And
Smash 'em.
basically say the same thing to the media.
Yeah.
Get fucked.
No, you don't.
Isn't
You
that
know
terrible? It's so
what?
crass.
You know what?
You know what? Just it's a really important game in your career. All of you, I think, that take the field on Monday. I keep saying tomorrow. Why am I saying that? You've really copped it like you've never copped it before this week. I feel like they've not copped it like this since the grand final. We've been waiting for Melbourne to really recapture that form because it was beautiful. Even you, as a football person,
I love that.
watched some of that play, and it was really good to watch. The game against Geelong, Max Gawn kicking those goals that he was kicking out of his butt into that grand final, which was sensational, and it was really slick. And we've been waiting to see it again because you and I were saying that night, this is 2 or 3 years of this. They're young, and they haven't been. It's a hard competition. Everyone is. I mean, the competitive balancing. It's really hard. And you have to find a way, and the greats do. So here's your chance to be a great. You know, it's we hear the excuses of the last couple of years with the forward line, and are they excuses? Are they legit? I think they're pretty legit. We haven't been able to get a good run in with our forward line, and it hasn't quite been there. It's been disappointing as a Melbourne supporter, but right now it's a really big moment for these guys. You've just been pantsed in front of everybody.
I love it when there's an opportunity.
What are you going to do about it?
Yeah. Show up, smash them. Let's do it.
You watch who steps up, and we'll be talking about this on the next show. Who's the one that stepped up in that game, or did they do nothing? We will see you next time on a very Melbourne podcast.